What's going on, y'all? Charles here from the Traders Corner. Going to be doing a quick video and a recap of my trading week. So let's get to it. So as I mentioned in the intro, going to be doing a quick recap of my trading week. Going to be going through not only the trades I took, but also how they played out. If they, I guess you would say, finished up this week. Because I'm still in one trade on Euro USD heading into next week. But other than that, let's just get into the weekly recap. So let's do it. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to look at USDJPY here. So took a trade here last week and then also a trade here as well. This trade here, I closed it out when we saw this large candle here. Now, I'll be real, that was kind of something where I wanted to test kind of my, I guess you'd say, I don't even know how to say it, but really test that ability to kind of like get a feel for what's likely to happen next based on my back testing. So what do I mean by that? Now, this trade, I'm not going to get into why I actually took this trade and the one that came after it. But what I will say is, from my back testing, I've noticed that oftentimes these trades will give me the first entry that I took here, push up, push back down, get that double bottom, and then push up and then give me the second one that I took here. And so that being said, I still don't want to, and I didn't do this in my back testing, so that's why I don't do it in the live market, right? Even when I was doing my back testing, I would still take the first opportunity because it's not on me to tell the market when it can and cannot go. If the market is giving me a message that it might be going now, then it's kind of on me to try to take that message if that message fits my plan, right? Now, that being said, there are certain times when even the message, there are certain times when you'll start to recognize, like, yes, even though you're getting a message in this area, the market's not quite ready yet. And honestly, I wouldn't have known this or had this feeling had I not spent all this time backtesting. And to be real with you, losing trades like this in other areas like this, right? So for example, I was talking to a friend of mine who myself, Isaiah, and D Harder are all helping learn how to trade. And he's just now, he texted me yesterday talking about opening his brokerage account and all this stuff. And when can you mention it? He's like, I think we're gonna start trading live soon. And I was like, oh, are you done testing already? He was like, not really. I was like, okay, well, I would definitely recommend still testing, because one thing you're saying is like he wants to trade live to get that live, I guess you would say, data, right? Which makes a lot of sense. We participate in a market where it's going to change every single time. So the best data you can get is, the most recent data that you can get, right? So like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you forward testing while you're back testing as well. But just don't just hop into the market straight up. But that being said, I was like, there's nothing wrong with you forward testing because like I said, oftentimes forward testing, you start to be able to recognize things like you're seeing that I'm seeing right now, right? I was able to recognize from my forward testing and my back testing that this is an entry where it might work, push up, but if I get a message that it's likely not working, then it's kind of okay to close it down, right? And that's what I did here. So I closed it down for, I think it was like a 0.2% loss. And so then here I got into the next trade, pretty much same exact entry. I went with a nice 25 pip stop because that was more than enough. Eventually I got tagged out here. Excuse me. I got tagged out here for 3%. So that's USDJPY. EURJPY was just a loss for this week. So you can see from March 22nd, beginning of this week, we got this strong push lower. And then I took this trade in this area. This is, again, one of those trades where I'm perfectly okay taking, I'm perfectly okay taking it, but my back testing shows me don't be surprised if this doesn't work. Why? Because we're kind of like in this area, right? Where you can see a 1, 2, 3, right? So if you've ever traded Falcon Trading Guidance, I think you know why I would take this trade right here. But again, based on the fact that we're getting a 1, 2, 3, again, Falcon Trading Guidance, if you ever spend time doing it, that would tell you why. Also, I'm not surprised that it didn't work, right? And if you look at what happened after we got the 1, 2, 3, again, not surprised why it didn't work, right? Now again, if you've ever used Falcon Trading Guidance, you might realize why I went with the running channel in this area. But this is one of those things where backtesting was able to make me, I should say, more comfortable with a loss and more willing to take that next trade or take a trade or take another trade that might materialize, right? So here, just got entered in. Here's one where I might have to approach this different. I'm thinking about approaching trades like this in this area a little bit differently, and then I might approach getting it to break even quicker. Because to be honest with you, I kind of had that same moment on USDJPY that I kind of had the same moment on EuroJPY that on USDJPY, and that right here, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should close this down or break even, right? But to be real, I hadn't, I didn't want to do that too much. I knew that I did it one time already with USDJPY, and that was something where I didn't want to be constantly breaking my rules. If that was something where I felt like it was possible to throw into my strategy, I wanted to test it first before just doing it all the time, right? And so that being said, I was like, I'm just going to leave this trade as it is. If I get taken out for a loss, I get taken out for a loss. It is what it is. You know why? Because that's what I tested in my strategy, right? And so even though this last one, I was willing to do something that I hadn't tested my strategy. Again, it's not something I want to do often, right? So here, pretty simple, got taken out for a quick loss. So at this point, we're pushing up, and we could be pushing out of this structure here. So I'd be looking to possibly take any opportunities, looking to complete this move up here. And Euro USD just got entered into this trade here to the buy side. I'll delete some of this mess, even though I thought I deleted it already. Back on. So much like EuroJPY, right? We're kind of on a larger scale. 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2. We broke past this double bottom. And then what happened when we broke past that double bottom? Right? We got very corrective. Now again, very easily, I got entered in here on this candle. We could very easily just push back down, maybe get a third touch, or maybe third touch of this banner here, maybe come lower all the way down to this third touch. It doesn't matter to me. This was a good entry, at least for my strategy. Because it'll pop out to the daily, push up 1, 2, 3, right? Boom, we get that third touch here. Maybe just scoop around, get another touch. Perfectly fine by me if I take a loss in this area. So that's basically been my trading week in a recap. And honestly, while I have the video up, I'm also just gonna go through and backtest my missed trades because I need to do that anyway for the week. I don't think I had any. I think I was pretty on the ball with everything because I wanted to take this one, but this is one of those ones where I had a rule in my strategy that even though it was a valid entry, it was one thing in my strategy that says don't take it. And so I looked at this one, I weighed it up, and from me weighing it up, I was like, okay, let me not take it because of that rule I had in my strategy. Now, again, this is a rule that I've tested. It's not something that I just picked to do like I did here with USDJPY. Like full disclosure, I kind of just decided to do that. It ended up being the right thing to do, luckily enough. I'm not going to say that I knew that it was going to be the right thing to do, but much like this trade here, I had a 25 pip stop on, so I would have taken a loss here for 1%, when instead I just took it for 0.2%, right? But again, I just wanted to follow my rules here in this area. And so I said, okay, let me just follow my rules. Now I take this one. So I'm not going to count that one as a missed trade. Now, if I was sleeping, I would count it as a missed trade. That's fine. But because I just want to know that like I'm missing trades because I'm sleeping, right? If my rules say don't take it, then that's not a missed trade. That's just an opportunity that presented itself, but you don't have to take every single opportunity. Your strategy doesn't have to make you take every single opportunity. You can tweak your strategy to giving you more quality opportunities. And that's basically what I did here. Now, granted, clearly this one worked out, right? This would have been one of those ones where I would have said, I'm not taking it, and it still would have worked out. That's perfectly fine. That happens sometimes. That's trading. But I would rather follow my rules and know that I follow my rules at the end of the day. Here is one where I might say that I missed one. So after this video, I'm gonna pop into my Notion that I got from Falcon Trading Guidance for my missed trades, and I'm gonna throw that on. But I would say I missed it because, and this is a tough one, right? It's kind of, I guess you'd say, the flip of this in that. So for example, like I mentioned before, I thought to take this one out for break even, but I didn't want to because I didn't want to keep breaking my rules in the same week, right? I had already done it once. I didn't want to knowingly keep doing it within the same week. Even though it ended up making me take a loss, I'm more happy that I followed my rules than, upset that I took the loss at the end of the day. But had I broken my rules, this is a trade that I would have been able to take, okay? So that being said, I don't think I'm going to throw this one in my missed trades column just because I was already in another trade that my rules said to take, and my rules didn't say to get out of the trade at that point. So I'm going to just say that because, and again, well, actually, no, I can't say that because now that I talk about it, as I backtest, if I'm in a good area, I'm willing to take the trade to the opposite side, even if I'm already in another trade. It's something that I've done many, many times in my backtesting. So actually, that is a missed trade that I should throw into my, missed trade file. So, and this is why I talk this out. This is why I try to do this as open as possible, because me being open, it forced me to be open about the fact that, yeah, this actually was a missed trade. Why? Because if later on you see me do exactly what I just said, right? So let's say, for example, I was in a trade like this again, and we got another opportunity. We got that push up, and we got the opportunity here. And you saw me take another trade, even though I'm already in this trade, and I'm talking about how good of an opportunity this is, you would be saying, well, wait, aren't you not supposed to take those types of trades because you're already in another trade, right? So that's why I like to do these in video, makes you be very open, and talking it out helps you realize, like, actually, no, dude, you're supposed to take these types of opportunities, right? Now, that being said, now I have to get into why didn't I take this trade? Likely because I wanted this trade that I was already in to work out. I wanted it to just come up and just turn back around, right? But I can't want something to happen. I have to take what the market is giving me. And at this point, the market was giving me another opportunity that I should have been in a position to recognize. Now, I think that opens up a different question. So oftentimes I leave this on my charts, and maybe because something I've been doing with USDJPY, I just picked out where it was that I would have to come back to the chart, threw my alert on, and come back to it. I didn't do that with EURJPY. So maybe that would have been an effect on it, in that I was constantly looking at this risk reward when I checked the trade. And when I would see that risk reward, I would see, come on, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, right? Just drop a little bit, drop a little bit. But that's not the way that I should think. I should think, what is the market telling me? What's the message that the market's giving me at this point? And at this point, the market was giving me a message to take a buy side opportunity. Now, I didn't recognize it, didn't take it. That's something I have to recognize and be accept and move on from and grow from for the next week. But that is what it is. Euro USD, no missed opportunities there. So we start from here and we drop down here. Yeah. So just one for the week here on EURJPY because I was in another trade and I was trying to force that trade to materialize, even though my strategy says, even if you're in another trade, it's okay to take an opposite opportunity because the market can change its mind at any point, right? The market is only the conglomerate of the traders in it at that one point. So the market can change its mind at any point. If the market gives you messages to lend you to believe that it's changing its mind, it's fun, at least for my strategy, and I've tested things. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it provided some value. Kind of 2 videos in one, kind of my trade recap of the week and back testing on this trades for the week. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it provided some value to you. And join us again next time. Thank you.